need to turn down I can hear him a little bit, okay? We're back here on the platform, and we are speaking today with Nicole Farqueson, who has a number of titles as far as I'm concerned, a composer, a musician, a whole lot of things. And Bianca Nygaard, who is with me almost every weekend, and we are so delighted to have them both here today. I heard something expressed by Bianca about being your best self, and your group meeting all the time. You have a number of events and speakers teaching people how to be their best self.
We like to think that we give you tools for you to just be okay.
What do you mean?
Providing folks with life tools. If there's an area in life that you feel as though you're failing at, or there's something going on, we just go up there and whatever it is that we hand you, 99% of the time it works.
So let's say someone is failing in their marriage, a relationship. What kind of tools can you give them for that?
Oh, that's not my portfolio personally.
Or someone is failing in business, whatever.
I mean, the thing though.
How do you address these things?
We have to look at the self. That's the first thing we do.
Look at self.
Look at self. That is the first thing we absolutely have to do. We very seldom do that. We point the finger, or we go here to there and blame this one or that one. But no, it's something that we're doing. We actually manifest what's happening. So in order for us to get that in line and get ourselves sorted out, we just need to have alone time, spend time with ourselves, and not be afraid of our own company. A lot of people are.
Afraid of their own company. And so you are suggesting that people should retreat and have some self-examination?
Self-inquiry. I wouldn't really say retreat.
Self-inquiry,
yeah,
okay.
I wouldn't say retreat. That's a heavy word. But like I said, just spend time with you. A lot of people don't. They don't invest in themselves because they think that they can't. And no one will invest in you unless you invest in you. So if they're failing at something, chances are, like I said, we tend to look out here before we look in here.
Look inward.
Yeah.
And if you look inward, you would find some answers?
Chances are you will. Without fail, almost always you will. Trust me when I tell you that. It always starts with self. Once you can get that under control, then you're good.
And Nicole, what I find in the Bahamas is that we need to have a higher level of discipline. We are an ill-disciplined people. I'm generalizing now, but a whole lot of people are. All right, and I believe that we have some of the problems that we have in our society, particularly with young people, because they just do not have the discipline. How do you bring about a higher level of discipline?
Well, Michael and myself, the founder of Inside Stage, we actually want to start going into schools, and I wouldn't say so much teaching discipline, but just kind of giving folks or kids, if you will, a warmth that is missing from home. 99% of the time, that's where it starts home. And so they tend to go into gangs or do whatever because they don't have a family at home, and that's usually how gangs are started. There's nothing at home, so they go out there and they look for it. But in order to teach discipline, we have to lead by example. Many of the older folks, or our generation, if you want to look at it, we're not teaching it because we ourselves are not disciplined. So therefore, the generation coming behind us are going to do the same thing they see us doing, but just on a higher scale.
You were a young person, I think, and there are various fads that people are involved. You love them.
I love to watch people do it. Let me say it like that.
What do you mean?
I just love to watch people jump around and try and find their niche until they do. So that's where the fads come in, and they're adjusting.
That is what you call it, making adjustments in your life?
Yeah, I mean, everyone goes through a phase where there's something that they like, and then 2, maybe 3 years down the line, if that long, they don't, because they got into it because they saw somebody else do it. So,
Well, some people say that I'm a boring person.
are you?
So that's
I
what they
wouldn't
say.
say.
I'm ultra conservative, I suppose.
That's a good thing, though.
You think so?
I mean, nowadays, that's lacking in a lot of people. That's a good thing.
So conservatism, you think, is good?
I think it is. That's the way we were brought up too. So our mom taught us, like, we grew up under the children should be seen and not heard generation. So, yeah, being conservative is fine. It's good.
But we are living in an age of more liberalism than conservatism, especially with young people, that they are expressing themselves in diverse ways, you know. I couldn't help but saying your jewelry, for instance, all right?
Mine is of a different scale, I like to think, than everyone else that does it.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, not everyone else, because a lot of people do it the same way, but for me, my tattoos and my piercings came about. I just wanted something different than what I woke up with every day pain-wise. So I wondered, well, could I, let me try something out. But I've had these in now probably about, close to 16 years or so.
16 years?
Yeah. So I don't, this is not like a fad, this is me. And I've never been this comfortable in my own skin until getting in my black and getting in my ink.
That should be painful, eh?
That's what I thought. It isn't. Pain is just up here. It's all in the mind.
And you go about your life and you express yourself in a way that you are comfortable, and that is what you are suggesting that other people should do as well.
Don't do it because someone else is doing it. Do it because you actually want to do it, and you feel good in doing it. Like I said, I feel really comfortable being me. Now I do. I didn't before, but I do now. Sometimes I think a little bit too much.
Being yourself, eh?
Yeah.
To thine own self be true.
Yep.
Nicole was just telling me, she's like, how do you be your best self? All you do is you wake up in the morning and you're your best self. And the way that she always expresses things, and Michael also, a lot of people in the group, is that you already have it within you. And it's just realizing that you have it within you, being confident in that, and bringing that out of you, right? So Nicole was also saying that we should look in the mirror every day, right, Nicole, and say positive messages to ourselves, that we don't do those positive affirmations for ourselves.
Speak to yourself.
Speak to yourself and tell yourself you love yourself and that you're beautiful, and that take a good look at yourself in the mirror and be able to do that.
But some people will say that you're being vain. And
That's their opinion, though. That's their opinion. But I personally think that it works wonders, because I don't think that it's a sense of discipline that a lot of young people need. It's a sense of self, a sense of confidence, which is lacking. For females especially, you know that we only go into the mirror for 2 reasons. That's to criticize or to put on makeup, which essentially is the same thing, because we're covering up something. We never go in the mirror and say, hey, you look great today.
Self, I love you.
Yeah.
And self, you look
really
great
good.
today.
I'm going to take you out for lunch because you look so good.
And a lot of people really can't do that. And so then you start learning that, and then you start teaching it to your children, let's say, as we were talking about what's going on with the youth today, right? But maybe from, as an idea or a concept, from when they're little, have them look in the mirror and speak positively to themselves. And you speak positively to them, and teach them how to do that from early on, instead of negative messages like, don't do that, don't wear that, don't touch that, don't. Instead it should be, really nice, positive things. One thing that I really noticed, like, especially with Rastafarians or, people with dreadlocks, right? That a lot of people, I had some fake dreadlocks once. And it was awesome because people would greet me and say, yes, Empress, And I was like, Empress, yeah, I like it. Yes, queen, you know? And then other people say, yeah, king, yes, you know what I mean? And just being greeted in that way, it gives you so much of a more confident, wonderful step, and I don't know, it's such a nice feeling to be greeted like that, you know? That's just an example, but, you know, they really show us different things that, you know, if you're living the same thing and you're never taught anything, then you're never going to know. So they open up a new concept for you. Michael, I love his lollipop story. He started
Lollipop
also
Love, yeah.
this group called Lollipop Love. There's also a website or Facebook page with
Facebook
the
page, yeah.
Lollipop Love, but he started it because he was getting some bad service. He was finding that a lot of places he got bad service, and that made him very upset about that, right? So instead of just focusing on this negative thing, he decided to reward people for when they give him good service. So when the people do a great service for him and he feels really nice with them, he gives them a lollipop. But with that lollipop, he also takes a picture, a message, he posts it on his Facebook page, and he really acknowledges that person. So now this is a whole different way of thinking, right? Instead of just being mad at this, you focus on the good. And this is the whole concept that I'm getting from Inside Stage of how it's changing my life, is just by being around people like this that are giving subtle little messages, and then I can reflect on it in the day, or it comes to me naturally, and in turn it's changing me, you know?
So it's about positive thinking. That's
Positive thinking and doing, more of positive doing. Because once you start doing, your mind follows. That's a given. Sometimes we just think, okay, we have to think positive all the time. That's not going to work. So once you start to do something positive for yourself or for others, your mind automatically starts to flow, and that's the direction you go in.
So in addition to thinking positively, you have to do some positive things.
Yes.
Now, Nicole Farqueson, there are a whole lot of people who are stressed out over money issues.
Oh, yeah.
They say the economy is bad, I don't have enough money to do this, that, and the next. And at the end of the day, it's about being able to care for yourself, being able to find the resources to do that. And when people do not have the financial resources, they go into various
Freak-out mode, I
become depressed. There are all sorts of stressors that come to the fore, eh?
Yeah, that it is true, and it's happening all over the world, actually. Sadly, we watch it here every day, even amongst friends. Like, people are just afraid to reach out for help, or they think they don't deserve the help, or they think that they're doing all that they could do, but they're just not getting there. So the best thing to do, I think, is to regroup. As simple as that may sound, we have to take a step back at some point and regroup, because things aren't automatically going to fall into our lap because we think we're doing this and trucking along and it's going to continue. Naturally, and some things we have to actually leave alone. We can't mess with it at that certain time. It comes with preserving yourself in order for you to make anything work.
Now, there are some overachievers and there are some underachievers, okay? There are some ambitious people and some unambitious people. Now, let's speak to some of that. While you can talk about positive thinking and positive doing, let's talk about ambition. You are an ambitious person, aren't you?
I like to think so. Yeah, I am.
You are. What makes you ambitious?
Me. I keep a photo of myself as a kid at a time when I never thought I would even make it out of that time period, or any further in life, because I was told, actually early on in life, that I would be dead at 18.
Why?
Because of my spinal condition. So, well, I like to call it my gift. It's not actually a condition, it's a gift. Depends on how you look at it. But I was told that I would be dead at 18, and that shaped, reshaped, and remolded me in so many ways I cannot even begin to tell you, because it destroys you. Like I said, it completely you get wrapped up in that thought. And a lot of people attempt suicide. I have done it. There's help that is needed, and people need to understand that there's help out there. They don't think that there is help out there, so they just automatically want to give up.
Why did you attempt suicide?
After being told that, and after being told that I would never have kids, I love kids. You know, obviously, if you did, that's not going to happen. So that was a turning point for me after that, though.
How did you were born with a spinal condition?
Yeah. Curvature of the spine.
Curvature of the spine, and so you just dealt with it. You just learned to live with it.
You do. It took a while, but you do. I had brothers, still have brothers that never showed me that anything was wrong. So I just went about my business as if, okay, nothing's wrong. So I played out in the yard, played with them. I was everywhere they went, and like I said, I didn't know anything was wrong until maybe in primary school when kids would point and tease, and so they would come to school because they're way bigger than I am, and they would come in school and boss the kids around, which I liked. But but yeah, and my mom was very overprotective, but at the same time, I would get a spanking just like everybody else. I was never protected from that. So within my circle, my nest, I guess if you want to call it, I was never treated any differently. So it took the world to point out that, hey, there's something going on with you here. You may want to slow down. But in fact, I slowed down for a while, and then I just picked up momentum, and here I am.
And you just learned to live with self.
That's it. And that took a long time to do that. I stopped looking into the mirror, actually, from neck down, from age 14 to age 33, 36 now. So it took me a long time to be able to look at my entire self.
Interesting. We take a final break here on the program with Nicole Farqueson. I told you, Bianca, I got excellent guests. We take this break, we'll come right back.